we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you Karen Lacey. Run it back the time, Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and Co. From 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9. It's Tingle and Co.
All right, good morning and welcome in as football has returned. Football! LSU Tiger football is back. They hit the practice field yesterday. We did not hit the practice field yesterday.
You can't roll.
We were not prepared.
Watch yourself. Maybe we should have been prepared. We're like
firemen.
firemen.
We should have been prepared regardless. We hadn't heard anything, and then we
Sight
heard
situation,
something right after.
cut clarity.
Should have been prepared. We were
Should
not
have been ready.
But that's okay. That's okay. We will be. I will be on the field today watching these guys get after it. And I had Chris, our photographer, at the press conference. Got some clips. Shout out to Chris.
Not shout out to
Watch him out.
Christian.
Shot Chris a text at about 9:15 of, hey, this is what's happening on campus. He does not live here in Baton Rouge. If he's in the chat today, make sure you give him a shout out. He got in the car straight to campus, got some pictures, got some video, crushed it yesterday during the press conference for us. 2 claps for Chris. Ready. 2 boos for Christian. We're a little behind schedule this morning, a little bit behind after 7 a.m. You know why? Because I had to go back into our editing software thing where we have all of the BK clips. I asked Christian to cut BK up last night, and he did, and I appreciate the effort.
He massacred the boy.
But it was not a very good job.
Not great.
Not good. It was not a very good job at clipping because there were multiple answers that were 4 minutes long, 3 minutes long, 11 minutes long, and I actually watched the press conference live.
Me too.
And had Chris's clips myself. And I know that they weren't actually 11, 4, and 3 minutes long.
So the whole thing is 18 minutes long.
Right. And
somehow Christian thought that Brian Kelly talked about Witt, Weeks, and Harold Perkins playing together for 11 minutes and 46 seconds.
Which
would be great if he did.
Well, what Christian did, and I know this is what he did, he clipped the start. He put the start point.
He didn't put the end point in.
He just hit start, and it just didn't do his job.
For those that that question how long I've done this,
yes,
that's called head and tailing.
There you go. He did the head, no tail.
No tail. Which is fitting for him. St. Paul's behavior.
Christian Wilkins. Whoa!
Oh, shit!
We just bing bong. I just clicked in the
bing bong.
Just clicked in the head. But yeah, so we had to go back and solve Christian's mistakes, which we did, and we've got the clip straightened out. Shout out to Christian for putting in the effort. Just need that second pin to drop where it's actually do a good job. But we did get chastised the other day for our, I guess, bullying of Christian.
I saw that
on a YouTube comment.
Was that Christian's burner?
From our guy Artman Hall. No, he's an avid listener, and I'm gonna pull it up here and read it aloud. Because it did catch me off guard because I don't feel like we are that mean to Christian, especially right now. He's not here. But our guy Artman Hall, shout out to Artman Hall. Love him and appreciate him tuning into the show as much as he has. He said, quit mocking Christian. You're beating him down to where he feels failed and or resentful.
Good.
Quit making fun of the ugliest blank, etc. Each of you look in the mirror. Lift the lid on the things you personally don't want to have joked about. Admit your own flaws and shortcomings. There are things that you can review negatively without adding ridicule. 20 years from now, you might wish you had done this differently. You have the makings of a great show. I'm rooting for you. Artman Hall, shout out. We appreciate you.
I'm not going to listen to anything you said other than you have a great show.
I appreciate it. We have the makings of a great show, and he's rooting for us. So thank you, Artman Hall. But I don't feel like we're really that mean to Christian. And we are not just like, this is the thing. Make sure we establish this right now. This is not just like Christian shows up here, we make fun of him, he goes home, we don't speak to him. Like, we are friends.
No, we make fun of him then too.
We have a friendship, and so we know that Christian is able to take constructive criticism, regardless of how constructive it really sounds. I believe it's constructive. But Into the headlines for this morning. Like we said, LSU hit the practice field yesterday. Welcome back to football, as the Tigers were in the indoor facility yesterday due to the weather, and I would assume they'll be back indoor today as well. Did not hit the Ponderosa officially yet, but the Tigers were back on the field. It was good to see some of the video, some of the photo that came from practice. Like I said, we were not there yesterday, but we will be back. We will be there today, getting some photo and video for you as well. Appreciate all of you guys. But yes, LSU back at fall camp yesterday, and one of the things I really liked was what JD had to say. Obviously, we spoke to JD yesterday, delivered an excellent interview, all-timer. If you didn't see Kinfolk Crumble, it was about 8:01 yesterday morning. JD had just made his introduction about Spectrum Fitness and the Bulldog and saying, that I was the Spectrum Fitness, Lloyd was the Bulldog, blah, blah. Jonathan then interjects himself and then absolutely crumbles at the drop of a hat. So if you missed that, go to yesterday's show at 8:01 a.m. You'll see it. But Jacques Doucet had this to say yesterday after practice. He said, do what?
I don't have the document.
How?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
That's why I just texted you.
Jacques said, it's the first day, and I know preseason propaganda will run rampant, but things felt good out there today. It's hard to describe exactly, but you sense that these guys can be pretty good. First game is still a monster challenge, but I felt positive vibes. This could be fun. Hashtag LSU. That's what I like to hear right there. And look, there are always going to be people that say, practice was great, the vibes are high, that, and the other, including us. We will likely say that after being there today. Jacques Doucet is somebody that's been to a lot of fall camps and seen a lot of football. He's been around a lot of locker rooms, a lot of energies. Like, this is not just
Candor.
The run-of-the-mill guy that's just going to say, oh, look, it looks like they're really excited. The vibes feel high. This is Jacques Doucet. And like I said, he's been covering this program since Saban. Has been around the program since Saban. And for him to say, I know preseason propaganda will run rampant, but things felt good out there today. It's hard to describe exactly, but since the guys can be pretty good. That's what I like to hear. Shout out to JD for putting that out yesterday and being at practice yesterday. Lloyd, I'm sending you the document right now. But, so, that was the first day of fall camp yesterday. Vibes are high. It looked like the vibes were high, and I'm excited to get out there today.
Him saying don't read too much into this, but him putting it out the way that he did makes me want to put too much into it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if this was
somebody
really anybody else.
Yes. Damn, boys running around look good.
I would say, hey, this is Noah and Lloyd saying this.
Yeah. He's been to...
This is Jacques.
He's been to 30 of these.
He's been to a lot of fall camps. He's seen a lot of really good programs. He was there for 2019. He was there for
2003.
He was there for 2011. He was there for 2003. He's seen a lot of really good fall camps. And he's also seen a lot of really bad fall camps.
Mm-hmm.
More
bad ones than good ones, probably.
And for him to come out and say that, it's hard to not look too much into it. Shout out to JD. Like we said, he delivered an excellent interview yesterday, giving his maybe a little preview of fall camp. And
his
then
Jacques
this was
talk.
his takeaway. Huh?
His Jacques talk.
Jacques talk. Shout out to JD. But yes, we do have the BK presser from yesterday. We solved the issues with Christian's cutting, and we have that presser. You will get to hear the sound and our reaction to that today. And next up in the headlines, Dominic McKinley has been talked a lot about this offseason. He was talking in the press conference yesterday. His younger brother, though, Darius McKinley, is down to 4 schools: Texas, Florida, Tennessee, and LSU. And he will announce his commitment on August 1st. Lloyd, do you know when August 1st is?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's
Thank
August
God.
1st.
That was such a shot in the dark. I had no clue.
I was really hoping you'd say next week.
Last week.
Today?
Today?
Nope.
Tomorrow.
August 1st, tomorrow. So you'll get Darius McKinley's announcement tomorrow. He's picking between the top 4 there. You see him: Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and the Louisiana State University Tigers.
He's got the real logo down there.
Which is obviously home to his big brother, like we said, Dominic McKinley. You will get to hear some of Brian Kelly's thoughts on Dom. But like we said, welcome back to football season. This was the clip put out by LSU football yesterday on Twitter. That was kind of the preview of fall camp. It wasn't the fall camp video. It was the the introduction.
Welcome back.
As they say, we've prepared 7 months for this. It's finally time for fall camp, you versus you. Here's Brian Kelly talking to the fellas, getting everyone straight, getting everyone ready, getting them locked and loaded for the 2025 college football season. Here are your LSU Tigers.
This is what we all do this for, right? Everybody's here for the same reason, and that is to be the best when our best is needed, right? To challenge ourselves. Last 7 months, we've been putting in all this work to get to this time. 7 months. You've been intentional. You've been deliberate. You've been focused and locked in on a process so we can get to this starting line. We know it. Everybody knows what the challenge is in front of us. It's got to be you versus you. At the end of the day, you got to be the one that's driving this. You got to want this. And we're going to need everybody trusting everybody every single day. If you're passionate about what we're doing, if you see that in that passion, that effort is showing itself, you're a great competitor. Passion and effort is competition. That's all I want from you.
There's BK getting the fellas ready for 2025 fall camp. As like we said, it got kicked off yesterday as the Tigers were in the indoor facility, and they'll be back out there today. We'll have media availability today, none tomorrow, back out there on Saturday. I think today we get just 15 minutes of take pictures, get your video, get up out of here. Saturday we get the 15 minutes, but then it's put the cameras down and you can watch. So I'll bring the notebook and we'll be back right here in the studio to recap practice on Saturday. So make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Our subscriber update this morning, like we said, we're trying to get to 10,000 before football season gets kicked off on August 30th. That is officially 30 days away. 30 days away from today.
A month.
30 days exactly.
Depending on the month.
We were at 9,938 subscribers. So we're about, what's that, 38? That'd be 62 away
62,
from our
62. There you
10,000
are.
mark before football season. So keep stealing phones. Keep subscribing on other people's devices and getting everyone ready for LSU football season. One headline outside of LSU football, LSU men's basketball. I know we're not going to get too in-depth about it, but there was an announcement made yesterday. They will be playing SMU in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center on December 13th this season. They played SMU last year, obviously, so it will be a rematch against the Mustangs, but this time in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center. We'll see what the crowd looks like there, but LSU versus SMU in basketball this year. Into the two claps this morning, LSU, the Butkus Award watch list was announced yesterday, Lloyd, and I want you to guess how many LSU Tigers were on that list.
Two.
Can you name them?
Whit Weeks, Harold Perkins.
There you go. Harold Perkins Jr. and Whit Weeks are both on the Butkus Award watch list to LSU Tigers. Obviously, recognized as one of the best linebacker duos in the country, and I think the potential for those two is through the roof this season. Sky high expectations as LSU has two Butkus Award watch list linebackers this offseason in Harold Perkins and Whit Weeks Jr. Two claps for those two fellas. Ready? Next up, shout out to our guy Jacob Verdon from the Verdon Verdict. Got the viral clip yesterday everywhere. As Verdon is going to get that viral clip. He gets it out quick. The second he sniffed this one out. This was his first post from practice yesterday, I believe, because he got it, and I guarantee you, because I know Jacob, he was probably like
giddy.
Yeah, this one's going everywhere. Here's Blake Baker showing off the moves.
That's a fucking nasty move.
coach shouldn't juke out the football player. First of all, that move is disgusting. And second of all, you think Aiden Anding was expecting Blake Baker to do a juke move?
He's in cleats. You better be ready.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is like a wrap-up drill.
That could have been an ACL so fast, dude.
For both of them.
That was so fast. This is...
So don't make...
And then, gritty,
It's not something to make... First off, it's Aiden Anding, who's a very, very talented player.
But
I don't think we'll be
great
getting a
practice
lot of,
rep.
Yes, we'll be getting a lot of run. But guess what? I'd rather him get that figured out against Blake Baker in practice number 1 than Marshall Reed when Texas A&M
Sellers on third
played Klubnik on game 1.
DJ Lagway.
Like, I'd rather get that figured out with Blake Baker back there.
Dude, I mean, people. And first of all, no shade to Aiden Anding. He's a D1 athlete now. Blake Baker,
And
got
here's
him.
The thing. You think Aiden was thinking, hey,
he's not doing
Blake
that.
might do the nastiest pivot juke move I've ever seen in my
spin,
life.
Pivot back, LeBron jump
Literally.
shot, fade away.
Like that's post work right there.
Yeah.
And Wolfgang, no, that's not a good sign for the DB. I really don't
think that anybody.
This is something to look into.
He's Pete Carroll, 30 years younger.
Like this is like nobody in the whole place was expecting Blake Baker to do a juke.
Fucking awesome. Like you think spin? Yeah, sure, ready for that.
Right.
No. Like that's
It's
filth.
a great move.
That's filth.
I just don't think it's anything.
Like, yeah, y'all. If you want to dissect it the wrong way, I think that's awesome that the coach wants to do. Like he's having fun. Like that you talk about Jacques Doucet and like a little bit of a different energy. He's a part of that.
Oh my gosh.
He's
Yes.
the catalyst for some of those things on the defensive side. They went from 150 to 50, 50 to 25 in the cards. And it makes it – you have no idea how far that carries.
No, I mean, we asked Keelan.
I know it's day
right
one.
here,
Yeah, it's different, dude.
and we asked him, we're like,
You
what's
think
it
John
like,
Chavis is doing that?
what's it like having your DC / position coach in cleats on the field with you? And he, like, biggest smile on his face. Now, look, with Keelan, it doesn't take much to get a smile on his face, but he was like,
It's doing
it's
push-ups.
awesome. It's awesome. And so,
Doing push-ups on the field, picking people off, and now shaking and like
gotta finish the rep, though, coach. Gotta get the ball off the line.
don't think so.
This is worth 0 points.
Not to me.
Devin Johnson. I wouldn't be thinking my coach will turn into Reggie Bush.
Yeah, that's
as Brandon Hollingsworth, let's
filth.
be honest, he just wasn't expecting him to do anything like
at
that.
all.
And then Alex Futch, I'm going to helmet to chin next rep. Try to sweet feet me, think again. Wolfgang, the DB is 20 plus years younger and should lose his jock strap on the field versus there's really like Wolfgang, I get it. From like looking at it, be like, oh well, you probably, the 18-year-old shouldn't be getting juked out by the 50-year-old. Look, it's the first day of practice. It's a true freshman that has come here from Ruston getting his first day of work against the D coordinator and is expecting it to be a normal drill, and Blake Baker wants to have fun. Like, there's literally nothing to dissect and look into about this.
Except the fact
Besides,
that
Blake Baker's got moves.
sweet feet.
He's got sweet feet. And Alex Futch, great point. I mean, helmet to chin, next rep, try to sweet feet me again.
The Guardian cap's on there for a reason, cuz. Little cushion blow.
Yeah, it won't hurt too bad.
And Jared Hills, get out the chat.
But, watch your mouth, Jared.
You don't know this show
Watch your
very
mouth. But I had 2 claps for Blake Baker showing off the sweet feet. Ready. Next up, Bleacher Report put out a post yesterday on Twitter that said, who are your top 5 NFL quarterbacks, or list your top 5 NFL QBs in order. And I just saw the pictures that were used, and I was like, well, there's number 1 and number 2 right there. And no specific order. You can put whichever one at 1 or 2 as you want. Now, to me, one of them's got a ring, so they get number 1. The other one's number 2. But, this is 1. There's 2. I mean, that's number 1, number 2 in the league. And what's the common denominator there? Heisman trophies in the purple and gold. Who would have thought that in 2025 or just in life.
We
would be sitting here saying a post on Twitter from Bleacher Report using two of the top QBs in the NFL to say, hey, who's your top 5, are both LSU quarterbacks. Man, I went through pain for this.
I remember celebrating an Anthony Jennings lob to Travis Durrell, being like, that's the future.
I mean, we thought Danny Etling was the second coming. Like
Air Canada.
It's like, oh my gosh, he keeps him and DJ Chark, they're unbelievable. Now, don't get me wrong, Danny Etling, good quarterback.
Good quarterback.
DJ Chark, very, very good wide receiver.
Very good receiver. 7.
But I mean, what we've experienced over the last 6 years.
I mean, if I
with 9, 1, and 2, and 5, 11, and 8, I never thought I would see in my life.
I was born and bred on 6 of 15 for 108 yards and a touchdown with 35 rushes from 3 running backs. 13-10 LSU wins. Not 60 touchdowns in a year.
Try that on for size.
Yeah,
buddy.
or a quarterback going 85 against Florida and not getting touched.
I could close my eyes
and laughing.
And I know, smiling the whole way.
Ooh.
Can't
Ooh.
touch this.
Ooh.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a.
Now
it's
bring me a
day.
fucking defense,
Yep.
Blake.
2 claps. Ready.
Ready!
Ready! Next up, football's on TV tonight, fellas. Does everybody know that? That football officially returns to your television screens tonight as the Hall of Fame game kicks off. 8 p.m. Eastern.
That'd be 7
p.m.
Central. Oh, 7 p.m. in Central. Is walk-ons open for the
Oh, of course. Walk-ons opened on Monday.
For this.
Opening. For this. I mean, it's football season. Great timing by the walk-ons.
I don't think that was an accident. That's how
Yeah,
that's how big business works.
That's how business works. We got to get this thing done before football season, especially
Thursday's the
high school football season in Central. It's always been going from
Get
the
you one of
field
these.
to Canes. It's about to be going from that field to the walk-ons off of Sullivan Road. That place is going to be jam-packed on a Friday night. Like, they're going to have to stay open until, like, midnight.
Graves v. Landry arm wrestling.
Literally.
Friday night fights.
Friday night fights. But football's on TV tonight. The Lions and the Chargers face off in the Hall of Fame game tonight on NBC.
This graphic is lazy as fuck.
It's not the best graphic, but there you go. We got football tonight. That's all I care about. Screw the graphic. Give me some football on TV.
Okay, so this is what happened.
Okay, let's hear it. Break it down for me.
Adderall at the start. This is cool at the bottom. Very good. Drag and drop. We got it. You definitely clipped and lassoed these people in Adobe. We're there. We're getting there. And then it became out of Adderall. This needs to be put out.
We'll see.
The most basic font you can use.
This is my thing. I don't think this was done on Adobe.
I think half of it was and half of it was in Canva.
I think Canva is the main culprit of putting this together.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Certainly.
Which is a big-time insult to whoever the graphic designer is.
Look at these edges. This is just drag and drop. Like, lined up the borders.
It's
and
literally Canva. You just hit remove background, and it just removes it. So
you're thinking all Canva.
I'm thinking this is all Canva. Like, I'm thinking if
we need to shrink the people that get these jobs because these used to be sought after.
Well, I did a graphic design course at LSU for an elective, and she literally, her first rule was do not use Canva. She was like, raise your hand in here if you are experienced on Canva. And I was like,
got it.
Because this was like year 3 of working for the show. And so
and like year 3 of Canva existing.
Right. And so I was like, and she was like, how much do you use Canva compared
Every
to
day.
Adobe? I was like, I don't use Adobe. Canva is so easy. She was like, what do you use it for? I was like, work. She was like, well, you're not using it anymore. She was like, you like genuinely, I will sniff it out if you use it for an assignment in here and you'll get a 0. I was like, all right. Okay. Like,
and
I didn't use it. No, I didn't use it. No, but I've gone back to it. Like, I didn't use any of the tools that I learned in that class to use on Adobe.
Well, Adobe's expensive.
It is. Canva, you still have to spend it, but
This is awful. That's what I'm saying. Like
this was
the Game of Thrones meme where you're painting you're drawing the horse.
Yep.
And you got to season 7, and he said, I'm done with this.
Literally.
It's awful. And insulting.
Could have been better.
Dick Lane, watch out now. Great DB, Hall of Famer.
There we go. But football on TV tonight, that's all I care about. I'm excited to sit down, have a nice meal for dinner.
Cocktail.
Turn that television on and watch some boys hit each other with helmets and pads on.
I ain't doing the dishes tonight.
Which I watched football on
They're
TV
soaking.
last night, too. When I watched the program.
The program is awesome.
When I watched the program, which we will not break down today because Ken Folk is not here. He's been replaced by my backpack here in the chair. That's all right. It's not on camera. That's all right. Ken Folk is not here. He'll be back tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. Maybe next week.
He got a bit of the Lloyditis.
He's not feeling too good. So prayers up for Ken Folk. He's really crumbled yesterday. He's fallen apart since the JD interview yesterday morning. But we will have a special guest at 8:30 a.m. this morning. Was at practice yesterday. We'll give you the recap of that and get you ready for fall camp reports today. Our guy, more of a baseball aficionado, but covers the football program as well. Koki Riley will be joining us via Zoom. We'll be video calling in at 8:30 a.m. this morning to talk about LSU fall camp as game number 1 approaches. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by All About Inflatables. AllAboutInflatablesDS.com is the website. Very, very easy. If you type that website in, you go to the website, you see Book Now in red. You click that, and it's so simple, step by step, how to book your water slide, bounce house, combo slide, interactive slide, whatever you want, it's right there when you hit Book Now. It's got bouncers, combo bouncers, wet slides, dry slides, interactives, the whole deal is right there. And they also added the party tent, which they will show up. They'll get this all set up for you, take care of your yard, take care of you. Very easy to book on their website, AllAboutInflatablesDS.com, or the phone number 225-667-2386. And if you book it, make sure you tell them you heard about it here on Tingle & Co. so they know you appreciate what they do for us. Brian Kelly spoke to the media yesterday. There's the website, easy. Book Now, red button, click it, and it's gravy from there. Literally.
It's literally
chicken.
Jump in the website, slide in the Book Now.
Slide your cursor to Book Now.
And then repeat.
And repeat that every single day while you're booking slides.
More slides.
More slides. Because it's hot. It is hot.
Make it like a PowerPoint. More slides.
What we got? Saturday is August 2nd. Just celebrate football season being here.
I have a hot
The month
dog.
of LSU's first game arriving by getting you a water slide. Warm off. Carl Dunn, you need John Eads back on show. Likely tomorrow morning, my friend. We'll have our boy Eads joining us, as he was going to come on this morning along with Koki, but Eads has to go to high school 7-on-7 or high school practice before LSU practice because the man works his tail off. But like we said, Brian Kelly spoke to the media yesterday, and we do have some sound from that. As Kelly, like we said, he answered questions on the offensive line, on Nussmeier, the wide receivers, Dominic McKinley, comfort levels, all of it. He talked about it, and we'll get it started here with just the talking about the first impressions from practice yesterday and BK's initial outlook on the team moving forward. As like we said, they got on the practice field for the first time as a entire team. You know, spring practice didn't have Bernard Gooden or A.J. Halsey on the field because they both were spring portal additions. And then it also didn't have those summer enrollees like Jacob Bradford and Keelan Moses that made it to campus a little bit later than some of the other freshmen. So this was the first official practice having everybody on the field. Here's BK talking about his first impressions.
Weeks, yeah. Well, if we were putting the team together for the first time today, I'd be nervous. I really would. But we've been doing this for 7 months with this group. So 7 months of observation, 7 months of leadership development, 7 months of working physically and technically and tactically and bringing this together. I feel really good about the football team that we put out on the field in 3.5, 4 weeks. But again, I would say that this has been an ongoing process that started back in January. And we've seen, the things that need to happen relative to a team caring about each other, being on time, playing with a passion and effort, and certainly holding each other to a high standard. I love what I see about this football team and feel that's why I've been bullish on our team. Now we got to go play. You got to go win the games and execute when you need to execute. But I like where we're at.
We will roll that one right into Brian Kelly talking about the offseason and how they've built up to week number 1 since January, because they kind of go together. Him talking about his first impressions, but also what they're looking ahead to and what they've been building up for.
BK really latches on to a word. It's like word of the day.
What word are you feeling?
You're about to. I think we'll be able to guess it once you hear it 15 times in a minute.
I'll go back to January. What's happened since January is the response to your question. If you're just reacting to not having a win in the opener, to feeding them chicken wings instead of steak, then you're reacting in a manner that doesn't give you an opportunity to be successful. We've addressed this in January. We addressed it with the guys that we brought in. We addressed it in the way we trained our football team. We addressed it in spring ball and then into our off season. And again, we've made it pretty known, what our goal is. Our goal is to go 1-0. And so if there's anything that is slightly different from in years past, it's that we were so much more intentional about getting to August 31st in January. And that focus has remained the same for the last 7.5 months.
So, I mean, look, the discussion there
I need to change my tune.
Since January, they have been focused on game 1.
August 31st.
August 30th.
I'm just quoting the coach.
I know. They're focused on week number 1, game number 1.
That's a better way to do it.
And I'm assuming that's different than the way it's been going. But
why?
Why is it different? It's different because of whatever was happening beforehand is not working. That's why it's different. Why was it handled that way prior? I don't know. But I'm not going to live in the past, and I'm going to focus on what's happening this offseason. And from everything he's saying, they've been focused on this first game. Like, it's continuously set. And I think the question was from Eads asking about, like, what's different this time when you're talking about focusing on going 1-0. Everything he is saying continuously, he has said this every time he's gotten behind a microphone this offseason. Every single time. It has been something he's addressed and harped on. And there's multiple ways to take it. I'm choosing to take it as he's extremely confident in his team. He would not be continuously saying these things if he didn't think they had a chance to go into Clemson and take care of business. Lloyd, I see you have thoughts.
I just wonder if maybe he is doing the thing that Brian Kelly does. Emphasis on a thing. Doubles down, triples down, quadruples down. Now I'm on a corner. Interested to see week 1 is he's building it up to be something that is your season.
Right.
Like the wheels could potentially fall off after this if you put all of there's 2 ways to look at it, right? Very positive, in which he's talking about this with intention and intent of we're about to beat the brakes off Clemson. And if that's the case and LSU looks the way that I think they will and should, then this is all gospel. If it's not that way, where do you go? We put all of our focus on week 1, 1-0. And then do you do that again? Is it 1-0 every week after that if it's 0-1?
Well, I mean, look, I think we kind of said it last week. If you start 0-1, what are they going to – how negative can it truly be for you saying you've been focusing on going 1-0? You've done the right things to go 1-0, and then you weren't. Now, obviously, what happens on the field will determine that. Like, because if you go out there and you lose 34-31, played a really good football game, Clemson just got the ball last, that's a different 0-1 than what was the Florida State 45-17. And you just look completely dismantled for a half of football, not prepared.
They were prepared for the first play of the game.
Yeah, it was a great script for play one.
And that was that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's two different ways that this can play out. There's two different 0-1s, you know? Like, the way they look on the field tells you if they were truly prepared or not. Not exactly the result of the game, but by a point standpoint, won't truly tell you if they were actually prepared for week one. What tells you if they're prepared is what week one looks like. Do you look prepared or do you look not prepared? So this can come back and bite them if the team goes out there and they are not ready to play a football game, which we've seen them look like in game ones. Like we said, 2022 against Florida State did not look prepared to win a football game. I mean, that was a mixed match group of guys. From a special team standpoint, you cooked yourself in a game that you should have won. Muffing punts, getting field goals blocked. Like, that is on coaching. You weren't prepared to handle things from a special team standpoint. The second half against Florida State in 23, demolished. You got crushed. You had no answers defensively. You had no answers offensively on what was a great offense. That's the only game the offense didn't show up. 2024, the second half of that game, you played the game to not lose instead of playing to win. Those are all things that come down to not being prepared for game number one. So the thing is, to me, all of these things he's saying, right? If you go 0-1 and it's a game where you were prepared, you just kind of luck of the draw, didn't get the ball on the last drive, or there was a miracle, like something that doesn't really come down to preparation happens and you lose, that's a different 0-1 rather than what's happened the last 3 years. Like, you can still go 0-1 and it be this big, oh no, they lost four straight under BK, blah, 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 when it's just because things didn't fall your way. Or you can lose your fourth straight game one when it's because you didn't show up prepared. So the only way for these words, in my opinion, to come back to bite him is not if they lose week one. It's if they lose a specific way week one.
Ill-prepared.
Is if you show up not prepared. Like, if you show up and we can visibly see, everyone's a coach now, BK. Everybody is watching your program with a keen eye. And they will know if your team's not prepared because they've seen it the last 3 years. There has to be a visible difference to the preparation of your football team for these words to matter. I'm not saying it has to be a win. Now, would a win be nice? Yeah. But it can be, like I said, a 34-31 loss where you were prepared. Clemson just found a way to grind it out. Like, that loss is different to me than, like, am I still going to feel bad on August 31st and September 1st if you lose the game like that? Yeah. It's going to suck. Are there going to be little moments in the game I might harp on? Yes. I'm not trying to back myself into a corner right now on July 31st.
For August 31st.
But I'm saying the only way these words can truly come back to bite him is if they're not prepared. I don't think it's specifically a loss. 0-1 means everything he said was garbage. I think it's if they show up not prepared and we can see it, it's different. You know? I see the wheels turning in your brain.
That is, like they said in the chat, like, this is Brian Kelly's Super Bowl. Like, that's what he's building it up to be. If you're going to do it the way that he's doing it right now, that I feel like a close loss is not a win.
No, but I don't.
You're setting, as much as we've said, like, it's a win-win, and it is. It's like a great PR move to be like, look, we were intentional, we tried.
Right.
Look, we played a great Clemson football team on the road. Look, that was as good as we could play for our first game. And then you build from there. But that's not really what the message I'm getting is. It's we're going in there to win. And if you don't, like, this is how you can. I'm not saying this was going to happen. Yep. I'm saying this is a version of which can happen. You could lose the locker room when you build something up this much and you try this hard to do something and try to accomplish a goal that you set out to win. And then after that, there's a natural decompression of the moment. If you do win, then it's
No, I agree.
You have to keep this intensity for 15 weeks.
It's very possible. Like, I'm with you. The good thing to me, and I think the reason why BK probably feels comfortable to speak this way.
You don't want to fuck the best on your first date, or do you?
Is because I think he trusts. I think he trusts the leadership in the locker room.
I think
to where he can say these things, and that isn't a concern to him truly. Because I don't think Garrett Nussmeier, Jacobian Guillory, Whit Weeks, Harold Perkins, Chris Hilton, Bauer Sharp, Jack Popper, like these guys, like I don't think they'll allow for that specific. I agree with your point because that's real. I think the reason BK is not worried about that per se when he's speaking is because I just don't think the locker room leadership, the way it's at right now, would allow for that to be possible. You know?
Spectrum WellCare, players are on board. I get that. They are. But it's easy for everybody to hop on the bandwagon
right now.
But there's also a very much real moment when you pull up to the beaches in Ormond and be like, I'm getting the fuck off this boat.
Well, I mean, when you're 1-1 with Florida coming to town,
do I trust the leader?
That's a tough spot to be in.
But it does feel like BK is more bought in than ever.
Yes.
I'll give him that.
The way he's speaking is different than it has been.
It doesn't.
Not just from a word standpoint, but like maybe a presence standpoint when he's speaking, it feels different.
Right. It's like, I just can't forgive the sins of the past where this is a thing.
I agree. I get your sentiment.
Oh, now I want to try. Cool, man. Cool.
Well, and a lot of those expectations start with one guy in a purple and gold uniform, right? Who's that, Lloyd?
Garrett Nussmeier.
Number 13. Here's BK.
Or number 18.
Or number 18. Here's Brian Kelly talking about Garrett Nussmeier, what they've seen over the offseason from a mental and a physical standpoint and some of his improvements.
Physical or a combination of both?
I think we've documented some of the things that he needs to be better at, and that is, his worst play needs to be 0, and that's okay. 0 is okay. We can live with 0. What we can't live with is, catastrophic mistakes, and I think you have to live through that to know what your limits are, right? And so I think he knows what those limits are in terms of managing a bad play and making it 0. I think that's experience. I think physically he's taking care of his body, so he understands that, he ran 21.4 miles per hour. I mean, that's high 4.5s. He can run. So I think he clearly understands that when the opportunity arises, that he can take off and be an effective runner. So I think that's the growth. And then just the technical things, right? I mean, on-time throws, never turn down a profit, meaning if there's a check down, check it down. It doesn't have to always be down the field. So I think that's experience. I think some of it's technical. And I think he's in a great position to do that.
Physical or
Yep. There he is. Brian Kelly talking about Garrett Nussmeier. Look, there are a lot of things that need to be addressed for QB1 going from 24 to 25. As successful of a year for him statistically as 24 was, there were games that were lost.
3-game stretch. Because
of decisions, and there were lingering issues throughout the season that need to be nipped, taken care of, done.
All of which are very much... I don't expect there to be play clock issues. I don't expect there to be call getting in issues.
Right.
I don't expect there to be what you saw the second half of Texas A&M. Should have won that game, and then the Florida game was the more frustrating one in my mind almost.
It's couldn't finish drives.
You played good. You outplayed Florida. Should have won.
Yes.
And those things I feel like you have to give, as much as I don't give BK enough slack, you have to give Garrett Nussmeier slack for first time in that situation, bullets flying, all those things, in a really competitive game. And it was all on his shoulders, brother.
Right.
And at some point you fail. And he failed publicly. And that sucks. But I think that's a learning mode because I don't think Nussmeier takes that lightly. I think he sees that, and you saw the way he bounced back after that.
Yes.
That's the character of a quarterback. Like, you can look at him and go, okay, that's my guy. After those 3, it could have been easy. Like, no shade. You've seen it happen to Jarrett Lee. You've seen it happen to LSU quarterbacks time and time again where you're down, it's over.
Cannot recover from mistakes.
Because the pressure's real.
Yeah, when you get, like, there have been times quarterbacks have gotten knocked down and not been able to get back up. Like, they've gotten up and they've played the next play, but just they haven't gotten back to the level, you know? Like, Nuss had an abysmal 3-game stretch. Like, especially those first 2. A&M and Alabama were bad. It was bad. And he recovered, like, that 3-game stretch after Vandy, decent. Oklahoma, very good. Baylor, very good. Rolling that into the offseason, it's been said he's had. And all the reports from yesterday were that he looked sharp.
He is going to be the best quarterback in the country.
Right. And I'm not looking too much into the numbers that were said, the 21.4 miles per hour, the 4.5. I don't care about that. Like,
it's a high 4.5.
I don't care how fast he runs.
It
doesn't have to be fast.
It just has
to
be
do
efficient.
It's got to happen. Like, that was the part that I liked that BK said was he can be an efficient runner. Like, that was the point where I was like, that's what I'm looking for. That's all I need. 3rd and 7, you can go get that. You don't have to run fast to outrun defensive linemen most of the time.
Get that. You see green grass, go get it.
Go get it. It's there. It's not always right arm. Because that's the mindset. He's always, hey, this thing, like, it can go. I can make that work. You know? Like, oh, I'm going to pivot out of here. I can make that throw. I'm glad you can, but you don't always have to.
You can also do it later.
Like, that's what I like what BK said was the worst has to be 0. 0 yards is the worst thing that can happen. Which, if that's the case for Garrett Nussmeier,
I can't wait to watch them play, dude.
I know. If the case for Garrett Nussmeier is 0 is the worst thing, the expectations should be where they are, and that's Heisman top 10 draft pick. Because the worst thing that could happen last year was the other teams getting the football 3 straight drives.
3rd and 13.
Like,
can't be behind the sticks.
Now it's just got to be 0 or 2 or 4. You got 29 coming out the backfield. Just dump it off to him. 25, 22? Which one?
Double deuce.
Coming out the backfield, dump it off. Like, number 6, number 0, number 1, just
3.
Can't go broke making a profit, man.
Yeah,
and that's if they can get that twist right, you know what I mean? Like, they can get those buttons dialed, that program set. The expectations are as high as they should be. You know? And that's what I liked about what BK said about Nussmeier is I liked the term efficient runner because that's what you need. You don't need Jaden Daniels again. Like, that, I mean, I would love it, but that's not what Garrett Nussmeier is going to give you, and you don't need that particularly from him. It's just, hey.
2018 Burrow.
Yes, literally, that's what I was about to say. I went back and I watched the Georgia game the other day. And yes, he broke off that long one.
But that can happen. Nuss is that athletic.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can happen, but I don't need that all the time.
Not every play.
Like, it's just, hey, here,
Like,
I mean, he put Alabama to bed in 19, being able to just tuck it and run for 5, for 6, for 7, for 8.
There's nothing in my brain that tells me Nuss can't do that.
No, nothing at all.
Tough as fuck. Quarterback.com.
Right.
Like, wants it. Just get your fucking head dirty.
And I'm excited to
but don't get hurt.
On August 30th.
And if you get hurt, don't tell me.
Him take advantage of that first opportunity.
I think Oklahoma kind of woke
him up. He broke his collarbone and then was running for 10 yards every play. Like, so, like, I'm hoping, like, first opportunity Clemson, because everyone's going to be, like I said, from the top, the nosebleeds with us. He's going to have the binoculars on. They're going to see that hole right there on the left side of the offensive line. Why ain't you running? Tuck it and run! Like, everyone's watching for that.
It's so funny, this fan base.
But the good thing is, with the weapons you have, you don't need to run it that often.
And if you run too much, like, get it to your playmakers.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like,
you can't win.
The LSU playbook in EA college football with the RPOs and the this, that, and the other, like, all of that, please, now.
Profit.
Like, It should be a little peak zone, like a little bubble with Barry and Brown where the decision is this, Lloyd. I either hand it off to Caden Durham or I dump it off to Barry and Brown, Xavion Thomas, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton. Those are the two options, and, like, I wish I could give you both the football. Like,
Trados Green's out there somewhere.
Somewhere. Bauer Sharp's going to set the edge, brother. So I'm excited to see what they look like. And the next thing, we'll play the clip of BK talking about the wide receivers, those weapons that Garrett Nussmeier has. Do the clip where he's talking about the wide receiver core and addresses Hilton, Brown, Anderson specifically, because that's where the second part of the expectation lies.
He's had a great offseason
With your offense.
Well, I mean, we've got guys that can run. Chris Hilton is healthy. He's had a great offseason. You saw him at media day at his chattiest. I mean, that was a new form for Chris. I was proud of him, the way he stepped outside his comfort zone. So there is a carryover. Right? When you are handling yourself that way and you've never been that way, you become more assertive as a player. He's much more assertive as a player as well. It's a great, obviously mirroring of who he is. And then Barry Brown. I mean, you got two guys that can play that X position that can run past anybody, whether it's a go, a post, a dig, and that is an incredible weapon. And it allows us, as I said earlier, is to lower the player load. They're A and B, right? They're going to get a lot of touches and a lot of snaps. And then you add Aaron Anderson, who's the ultimate playmaker. We have to be careful with all of our players, but, we want to keep Aaron ready for Saturdays too. And so you got Kyle Parker, who I am really high on. And I think he's going to have an incredible year. But now you can add Kyle Parker to the slot. And then into the boundary, you got Xavion, you've got Nick Anderson. You've got some depth there. But the real deal here is that we're going to get over the top of a lot of defenses with those two guys.
Look, I mean, it is hard to be a not overly excited human being when talking about this LSU wide receiver
so
group.
Close and so far away.
Like, the way you can speak about this room, the talent from top to bottom, the guys they have, or what did Jonathan said yesterday? What, tail to tip? It's the most talented room on the team. Like, and there's some really talented position groups. The linebacker room is very, very talented.
Wide receiver room is.
This wide receiver room is.
My cup overfloweth.
And so, it's how would Brian Kelly talk about that room any other way? And I think when he says we're going to be able to get over the top of defenses, what does that open up? That is going to allow for the run game to grow. Because you talk about the pressure the run game had on it last year wasn't very good. I think there were some O-line struggles. There was a scheme that was just not right. But also, you did not have that over-the-top deep threat. You saw how much it opened up when Chris Hilton was back on the field. Mm-hmm. Because, hey, what do you have to worry about? You can't be a safety and have your eyes in the backfield.
You take a
You know why? Because
step.
you turn your head after 1 second. 3's back there. 4 is back there. 6 is back there.
0.
1 is over here. 0's like 12, 14, 10. Timeout. What is happening?
These are all eligible?
You know what I mean? Like, you want the run game to grow? Stretch the field out. Space it out a little bit more. Give Caden Durham some more room to work with. Because on top of that, that brings in the next part where, as Cha says in the chat, if he runs a few times, the linebackers have to come up because then it's Nussmeier. If Nussmeier, hey.
Then you get to do the thing
Then
that
the
you
linebackers
love.
are stepping in, and guess
Layer.
what? It's the Texas A&M play where you got a dig from Aaron Anderson. He catches it zoom, right down the middle of the field.
76 yards to the playoff.
6. This right here. Like, in theory, I'm getting real. Yeah. It feels like I'm playing a video game right now. That's why they're so good in the game.
It's real.
Because, like, it's talent. That room is so talented. He sat there and he said, look, we are 8 deep at the wide receiver position.
You can't.
Are you kidding me?
But he's not lying.
And that's the thing. He's not. It ain't no BS. I'm not like. He's real. Like, let's go 8 right now. Nick Anderson, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton, Xavion Thomas, Barry and Brown, Kyle Parker. Keep going. We've got
Trey Green.
We'll keep him with the tight ends because then you can go Teron Francis.
That's what Alex Bunch in the chat.
Dog.
Guys like Terrion Francis, man-child. It might not sniff the
Might not even touch the field.
Kyle Parker.
Like.
Played one game. One play.
UCLA.
Tutty.
Dog.
You
know, like. Talent, man. Talent. Destin Hill. Heard good. I saw real good reports on Destin Hill yesterday.
I've got a good feeling about him.
Because, I mean, there's a certain friend that we have that
on the RPM
is very high on Destin Hill. And, I mean, that's also a guy that's watched a lot of football, has seen a lot of players come, and very rarely has Edna Carr ever failed LSU.
Ever.
Look at number 1 on the football team right now. What was he at Edna Carr? Probably one of the best football players I've ever laid my own 2 eyes on. And it's working. You've also got Teron Francis over there. Edna Carr Cougar. Destin Hill.
Edna Carr Cougar.
Richard Anderson.
Edna Carr Cougar.
That'll be next year. I'll get all giddy about that all over again. But very rarely have they let you down. You know?
Never.
Right?
Just when they leave, they don't just.
When they leave, they can't stay forever.
Commit to you.
They can't stay forever. Jelani Watkins, Kylan Billy, like, there's so much talent in that room, man, and that's why, to me, why the pressure is so high on that offensive line. That's where the offensive line conversation starts. Because what were we talking about with Cohen Eccles when we were right here? He said what? He said, we know as a group, if we handle what's right there in front of us, what our job is, if we do that, everything else is, I mean, book it, cash the check, you know? Like, there's so much confidence they have because of 13, 29, 1, 0, 3, 4, 6, go down the list of wide receiver numbers.
Seto.
Like, that's why they have 14, 10, like, and so that's why the pressure on this offensive line has come up is because, hey, you've got to get this semi-right. Because if you do, like Cohen Eccles said, if they take care of business and they perform to that level, what did he say? We're going to be the best offense in the country. And when you really sit down and look at it, how could they not be? You know, and so here's BK talking about the offensive line and the competition in that room. It's the one that says actual in front of it, Lloyd, on the selection of clips. So here's Brian Kelly talking about the competition in Brad Davis's offensive line room.
Bada bing, bada boom. And you have Juwan Johnson.
I forget about Stop.
Well, we're still competing for positions, right? You saw what we did. Braylon Moore moved into the center position. DJ Chester moved to left guard, so you guys can figure that one out. But DJ is going to compete, with Paul. And on the right side, Josh is going to compete with Colin Eccles. That's competition. Karis Curran is going to push Tyree. Bordelon's going to push Weston Davis. I think that those are pretty much, what you should be seeing and how that will move. There'll be some times that maybe DJ, slides in at center. We got a guy that played 13 games at center. Let's keep him sharp. So I think you'll see some moving around there, but there's competitive battles right now on that offensive line. So we have to evaluate them as a group at 5, and then individually who makes up that best 5. So I think you'll see some of that happen over the next couple of weeks.
There's BK talking about the competition in the offensive line room. That's my favorite part when thinking about this O-line room. Is like it's a legitimate battle for these spots. Like it's not what it's been where like the last 2 seasons, Lloyd, it's been penciled in. These are your guys. Like you could guess the O-line going into 23 and 24. Where it's like, well, it's going to be Will and Emery on the corners, then you're going to have Frazier and Dellinger, and then it's going to be Charles Turner, DJ Chester's his backup. Like it was pretty simple who the 5 were going to be. You've got true competition at these spots now. And he listed off names. Like you've got Braylon Moore, DJ Chester as your centers. You've also got DJ Chester and Mabanga left guard. Right guard, you've got Josh Thompson. You've got Cohen Eccles working there. Right tackle, you've got Weston Davis. I was still expecting him to say Banks for like it's ingrained in my brain. That's going to be that's going to be our Road to Glory player's name is Weston Banks.
No, we need to erase it.
No, it's going to be our Road to Glory player name. At right tackle, you've got him.
Erase it or embrace it.
Bo Bordelon, Tyree Adams on the left side, and you've got Carius Curtin. Like, you've got these guys working. Now, we talked about Solomon Thomas a little bit yesterday. He's injured, dealing with an injury. And so you've got, like, he listed off 10 guys. Or not 10, it was 9 because Chester was center and left guard. But listed off 9 guys competing for those spots. That's competition that's going to breed, hopefully, success because you know they have the talent, right? Like you've recruited at such a high level in this room. Now let them compete for those jobs. And man, you told Cohen when we were doing the interview that where do I go when I'm at practice? I go to the trenches, brother. That's where games are won and lost. And I can't wait, especially for Saturday when we get to stay for the full practice to watch those guys get after it. Just freaking helmet to helmet. And like we said, one of those names talking about the offensive line was Tyree Adams. Here's BK talking about Tyree Adams specifically on that line. Because, look, we talked about him yesterday. It's a big old man. And it feels like he's got that left tackle spot locked up.
After seeing him not be able to fit under a tent.
Yeah.
I feel very good about where Tyree Adams stands in the offensive line.
Yeah, stands tall at 6'7", whatever. Here's
315.
Here's BK on left tackle, Tyree Adams.
Matt McMahon's got to be foaming at the mouth. Fuming.
I mean, right now he's penciled in as the starting left tackle, but we're going to let a freshman go beat him out and give him an opportunity to do that. Look, I think his growth has been immense. His maturity, his physical development. I think we all saw him play a really good game against an elite pass rusher in Baylor. So we've seen him play too. And so if you add what he's done in the offseason, the way he's led, the confidence that he plays with, I think we are in store for some great things from him.
Yeah, I mean, there's some confidence talking about your left tackle right there. And look, we asked Cohen Eccles
grown man
about the packed team, and that's the leadership teams, blah, blah, and Cohen is on Bo Bordelon's team, and he said, I knew who the first pick was on my team, and guess who it was? It was Tyree Adams. And who would also, I think he said that would probably be, it would be between Bo Bordelon and Tyree Adams would be who he would pick first. It's pretty good to be confident in the leadership and the accountability of your left tackle. The stalwart of your offensive line. And so, I mean, and you said it while we were listening. If Tyree Adams can't play football, who can?
Who can?
Look at that guy. I mean, he's built for it.
Can't fit under a tent.
And the good thing is, like, as much as he's penciled in as the starting left tackle, and we've said it all offseason, like, Tyree Adams was brought here to be your left tackle after Will Campbell. Or your right tackle after Emory Jones if Lance Hurd stays.
Or if Emory Jones stays and he plays. Whatever. He's going to play.
He's going to play. He was number 6 last year. He was your swing man, And so he sat there and he told you, like, but we're still going to let Carius Kern compete with him for that job. And what are the reports we've heard about Carius Kern? Freak of nature.
They were talking
the most
about him
physically ready freshman
when he committed.
Yes.
Could play.
And so, like, that's good for Tyree. It's not like, oh, I've got this job locked up. No. This 5-star that is as physically capable as anyone on the roster to play an SEC schedule, like BK said, is going to compete with me for my spot. The pressure's on this offensive line, man. And I'm excited to see them work at practice today and the practices moving forward as we get ready for August 30th as LSU and Clemson take off. Take off. Face off. There it is. Face off. In Death Valley Junior in about 30 days from today. Not about 30 days. Exactly 30 days from today. Don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by AJ Sports Cards. Head over to their website, or not their website. Head over to their Facebook, AJ Sports Cards BR225, and check out what they've got going on. They let you know everything on their Instagram and their Facebook, whether they got special things coming up, whether they've got events they're hosting. They've got one coming up in December. They've got a really cool collection in their store, so make sure you head over to AJ Sports Cards, 3348 Drusilla Lane. And if you want to, just let them know you appreciate what they do for Tingle & Co. by calling them 225-831-4508. Get on the phone and say, hey, thank you for taking care of Noah and Lloyd over at Tingle & Co. for all you do and bringing us that show every morning. Make sure they are recognized and feel heard. We are rolling into hour number 2 this morning. We will take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more football, and then we'll set up Koki Riley at 8:30, getting you ready for fall camp, as day 1 was yesterday, back on the field today as the Tigers have the pads on.
Big man.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Welcome back here as we're rolling through hour number 2 this morning on Tingle & Co. as football season has returned. I'm so glad there are mute buttons on soundboards.
I'll do it again.
Because the things Lloyd says in the breaks. Unbelievable. The first team offense and second team offense yesterday. Offensive line from left to right. Tyree Adams, DJ Chester, Braylon Moore, Josh Thompson, Weston Davis. That
Say it again
is
for the people.
The offensive line that I assumed would be the starting 5. Tyree Adams, left tackle. DJ Chester, left guard. Braylon Moore, center. Josh Thompson, right guard. Weston Davis, right tackle.
Weston Banks.
No, Weston Banks is road to glory, baby. Second team offensive line, like we said, there are competition at all those spots. You've got Carius Kern, left tackle. Paul Mabenga, left guard. Braden Augustus, a walk-on at center. Cohen Eccles at right guard. Bo Borderline, right tackle. The reason Braden Augustus, the walk-on, is the second-team center is because the actual backup center is at left guard on offensive line number 1.
So no panic.
And then you have QB1, Garrett Nussmeier, QB2, Michael Van Buren, Tight end 1, Trades Green. Tight end 2, Bauer Sharp. RB1, Caden Durham. RB2, Caleb Jackson. Wide receivers with the first group, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton, Xavier Thomas. Wide receivers with the second group, Barian Brown, Kyle Parker, Destin Hill. Nick Anderson not listed because he didn't do team drills yesterday. He's recovering from the fender bender, like BK said, as he's getting kind of back. He passed concussion protocol, working him back on the field. He should be back in the mix today. What?
One day?
No, I mean, it was before media days when it happened.
That's what I'm saying, but they can't practice on
They wanted
Tuesday,
to slowly get him back. This was the first true activity back, so they want to go individuals for day 1 and then team day 2. I think that's a pretty uniform way of doing it, Lloyd. I just think you're looking for things to be upset about. First team defensive ends.
He's ready today.
Do what?
He's ready today.
Yeah, ready to go. The first team defense linebackers, I'll ask you.
Got out there and jogged on Tuesday.
Who are your first team linebackers, you think, from yesterday's practice, Lloyd? They have the same last name.
Jacob Cutrera.
Nope. Witt and West Weeks with Perk at star. At defensive end, you had Gabriel Relaford, who I am so excited to watch play. Take away,
I want to
say something. Talk to people.
For real.
Yep.
Mark it, book note it, ear mark it.
Clip this.
Lick it, stick it.
Clip it.
Post it.
Yep.
Gabriel Relaford will be, if not the best player on the defense, one of the best players on the defense. All SEC on watch list, will be everywhere that if people aren't ready, get ready. He's going to be one of the best players on this LSU defense this year. Fucking book it. That's all I have to say. 'Cause I don't think people are talking about him enough.
Love it. No, I agree. Not being talked about enough.
He had moments last year where you're like, how is he not on the field more?
Right.
And then 1 year of development, and you bring in a guy like Kyle Williams, like they're bulldogs.
Yeah, no,
and
I'm
Gabe
excited.
Relaford is a pro right now.
I'm excited about 19 in purple and gold, which maybe we'll see if his number change. But I'm excited about that. And then opposite him, Jack Pyburn on the other side. And then at defensive tackle, you've got last year's freshmen, this year's sophomores. Talk about experience under their belt. Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley. We're going to stop right there. I want you to play that Dom McKinley clip where BK talks about the growth. Because this is the thing. We've seen Dom McKinley.
Dom McKinley can be as good as he wants to be.
As an absolutely imposing physical specimen, right? It sounds like he's been completely bought in from the physicality standpoint this offseason.
This is your profession.
And, like, buddy, you can make billions of dollars playing football, my friend. Like, the potential is, you know, like
it's CAS, need a new roof.
Yeah, need a new roof because it's through it. Come on now. Talk to him. 910-225-900-0619. Pierce Patterson, CS Roofing and Advising. Here's BK talking about Dom McKinley.
Athletic development staff, our training staff, athletic training. Well, he's forced our athletic development staff, our training staff, athletic training and weight training. We ran out of weights for him to max squat. He was 650 pounds max squat. And so I just throw that out to you as how powerful he is. And he's such a great kid. He's so grounded. He wants to get better every single day. And he has elite, strength and numbers from that perspective. So, yeah, he's going to play a major role in what we do. He's still learning. Coach Williams has got him with him right on his hip every day. But he's
McKinley, 600. Hey, buddy, we're out of weights. Can't put anything else on the squat bar for this guy.
My 600-pound life, not a problem.
Yeah, on my shoulders.
Yeah, I'll get you out the house.
Come on now, I'll carry you to the car.
Carry you to diabetes.
Got the sugar. I mean, talk about Dominic McKinley. I mean, buddy, this is the best thing for Dom to be like, look, if you truly buy into everything that LSU has to offer you from a physical and the football standpoint, buddy, you will be an All-American. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're a freak. You've seen the All-American camp clips of Don McKinley running through these 4- and 5-star offensive linemen's faces.
You literally can flip a switch. Do you want me to try? Like, no, actually. It's like, well, I'm about to.
And now I'm putting 650 on my back, and I can do more. They don't have the weights for it.
Hop on my back.
Like, come on now. I'm so excited for hey, like you said about Gabe Relaford.
Yeah, those
Don
two
McKinley,
together.
Like,
and there's another year of them.
I mean, like you talked about Gabriel Relaford, Dominic McKinley, man, the expectations and the potential, man, through the roof.
I mean, he
for number 96 in purple and gold.
He saw what they added in the portal.
Yeah.
Like, y'all bringing D tackles? Y'all bringing defensive linemen? Like, here's 650 on the fucking rack.
Try that on for size, buddy.
Smell the salt you want.
Well, and we talk about the 8 deep wide receiver room. Like, look, defensive tackle doesn't go 8 deep.
They're loaded everywhere.
But Ahmad Bro, Dom McKinley, Sadir Mitchell, you've got Jacobian Guillory.
Put him on your back.
You've got Zion Williams, who looks like a monster next to Dominic McKinley. And then Bernard Gooden, who I heard some rave reviews from practice yesterday. Like, this guy is a pass rush specialist. He was the number 1 D tackle in the portal
that you got in the late edition.
And man, that room, like, think about the growth that room has made from last season to this season. It was the Achilles of last year when we were getting ready for the season. Now it sounds like it could literally be one of your strengths. Is that defensive tackle room, man. I'm excited to watch Don McKinley play football this year. And then you have your starting cornerbacks with first-team defense, Lloyd. We said it, Mansour Delane has one side locked up. It's all about who's going to be opposite him. Who was it yesterday, Lloyd? It was Ashton Stamps opposite Mansour Delane yesterday.
Don't doubt a Rumble Raider.
Don't doubt Rumble Raider in number 1. And then at safety, it was Tamarcus Cooley and Jordan Gilbert. And Jordan is a guy that has gone very much under the radar. Like, you almost forget he's back because he doesn't get talked about at all. Was off and on last year with health thing. He was injured. He was hurt. Not injured, hurt. You hurt or you injured, son. If you're hurt, you can play. If you're injured, you can't.
Get up.
So, I mean, he was hurt last season off and on. He played through it,
injured.
which I love it. He was hurt because he played through it. Yeah, but he could have been injured. It might be other people injury. Jordan Gilbert hurt. That's a U-High Cub in Jordan Gilbert. A guy that's gone under the radar. You've got Tamarcus Cooley and Jordan Gilbert there. I'm excited for what the safety room potentially could be, because when you look at the second-team safety room, it was Javian Toviano, who's got some good experience so far at LSU, maybe finally finding his position. That's been the biggest conversation about 25, is where is he going to be. And then one of my favorite transfers coming in, A.J. Halsey, who I think is just an absolute player. And I think with Cooley, Gilbert, and Halsey, safety-wise, and you've also got Deshaun Spears, Javian Toviano as well. Those 3 specifically, Cooley, Gilbert, Halsey, I've got high expectations for them. I don't think the safety room gets talked about all that much, and I think it maybe should be. Second-team defensive end, Patrick Payton and Jamari Butler. There's 2 transfers for you. That's your 4 defensive ends. Like, it's pretty – you've got Kalaj Cobbins that can mix in there. Like, that's your 4, though, with Pyburn, Relaford, Payton, and Butler. And then at defensive tackle, you had Sadir Mitchell and Bernard Gooden. Talk about a mix, a dynamic duo at DT. You've got Sadir Mitchell, who looks like a mountain, and then you've got Bernard Gooden, who's got like a 4.7 40 at D tackle and is a pass rusher. Have fun with that. Linebacker with the second group, it was Devon Keys and Charles Ross. Who? C.J. Ross. Sneaky. He's fast. Track runner. And speaking of fast, guess who they had at star behind Perk? Tylen Singleton.
I can't wait to see him play, too.
The guy that high-fived Xavion Thomas on a kickoff return last year.
And Xavion Thomas, kick returner.
Yeah.
Tylen Singleton, linebacker.
Yeah, have fun with that. And then at corner with the second team, P.J. Woodland, DJ Pickett. And as the days go on, I get more and more partial to the idea of Pickett being Stingley. Like, I know he won't be Stingley, but I watched the LSU-Texas game again the other day, and I literally thought to myself, why can't Pickett do this? Like there are a lot of parallels between Texas in 19 to LSU Clemson in 2025, as it's the most maybe hyped game that's been had out of conference LSU's played since then. And they're sticking the fans in the top corner of the stadium like Texas did. They've got a really good wide receiver who's expected to be one of the best in the country like Texas did. And guess who lined up across from Texas as number 1 receiver that year? Number 24 in purple and gold. A true freshman cornerback. Clemson's got a number 1 receiver that's expected to be one of the best in the country. And could we see a little bit of a flashback with a true freshman 5-star corner line up across from him? I wouldn't be mad at it. So, look, we're going to take one more quick break. This will be a quick one because all we're doing this time is we're setting up for Koki Riley at 8:30 this morning to talk some football with Koki Riley from The Advocate as he was at practice yesterday, and I'm sure he will be back there tomorrow as he does excellent work. And maybe we'll sprinkle in a couple of questions about baseball at the end because you can't talk to Koki Riley and not bring up baseball because he crushes the baseball coverage for The Advocate. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Koki Riley after this.
Traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
When it comes to your home, your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Oh, God, look at me. Oh, nice hands, feet.
I thought you were going to hit the...
You're live, brother. We're both live.
I thought you were about to hit the folder.
I would never.
Didn't want you to knock down C-A-S.
S.
C-Dub, Pickett takes over by game 4 or 5, if not game 1. See, like I said in the chat, I was thinking the same thing, game 3 to 5. The more time goes on, I'm feeling game 1. Now, look, if Ashton Stamps grabs a hold of that spot and doesn't let go, hey, that's all right.
Koki, we don't have your video.
But I just feel like I'm getting more and more partial to Pickett game 1 because it's giving me Stingley feelings.
There he is.
The bowl practice, the whole deal. Koki in there?
Yep, Koki's here.
Our guy, Koki Riley from The Advocate, joining us live this morning to talk some LSU football. Koki, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I would have texted you myself yesterday and reached out, But, Christian would not allow for that to happen. I texted the group chat. I said, I think I'm going to ask Koki to come on tomorrow. Christian said, I got it, dibs. I'll text him. I think he misses you, Koki.
He still has your autograph.
Still does from Omaha. Yeah.
He would not let anyone else. But then he shared your contact with me, and I got in touch with you. But I appreciate the time this morning. I'll get you started. First question, yesterday, fall camp. What were your overall takeaways or just a handful of first impressions you got from the Tigers as they practiced yesterday?
Yeah, it's hard to have a ton of takeaways after, again, it was just one day. It's the first day. Brian Kelly literally showed the card of all the players and their names next to their numbers, just to sort of show how much of a first day it was. And they only went for, I don't know, I don't think they even went for 2 hours yesterday. But either way, I do feel like, Garrett Nussmeier was just an absolute machine. I don't want to compare him to Tom Brady, but I kind of felt like Tom Brady, where the ball, anytime the ball came out of his hand, it was just going to go to the receiver at the right time, at the right place. And he was just a machine. I think that's the best way to describe it. It was a very mechanical performance in like the best way possible. He didn't really get to show off his legs that much, but it's, spring practice. You're not going to, you're not going to see a whole bunch of, pressure, obviously, and you want to keep your quarterback healthy and on his feet. So I don't think we're going to see much of the running until the games start. But as a passer overall, he was incredible. He was perfect. I don't know, we saw a 7-on-7 period, an 11-on-11 period, and every throw was pretty much right on the money.
Yeah, and the next question I have for you is, in your opinion, how important is that running aspect to Garrett Nussmeier's success in 2025? You heard Brian Kelly answer it in the press conference where he said that, 21.4 miles per hour, high 4.5s, whatever, and talking about him being an efficient runner. How important is that aspect of his game to his success, Garrett Nussmeier's, in 2025?
Yeah, we really didn't see him as a runner really much at all last season, but I think he's an underrated athlete. I think you can kind of see that in the numbers that Brian Kelly showed. It's just a matter of his mental willingness and comfortability with doing it out of the pocket. When he gets flushed out, can he just take the 5 or 10 yards that's given to him? He doesn't necessarily have to be Jay Daniels. Nobody is. But I think he does have the athleticism to sort of do the Patrick Mahomes thing, right? Maybe not be, quite as productive as a runner as Mahomes, because I think he's a fantastic runner as well, even though he's, a more limited athlete than a Josh Allen, for example. But can he get the 5 or 10 yards when they're given to him? And I think that's kind of been an emphasis for him this offseason. And in terms of just the importance of that for LSU in particular, it's extremely important because there's a lot of question marks with this offensive line. You have 4 new starters, and your one returning one struggled at many points last season. So, given those question marks, given the fact that you're going to have a pretty young running back core as well, you're going to need Garrett Nussmeier to, just make some plays himself as a runner. I think his weapons are excellent this season. I think there is obviously some potential on the offensive line when it comes to a guy like Josh Thompson and Braylon Moore as, returning as, guys who have started for the last couple of years at Virginia Tech and Northwestern, in particular. But I think that, I just really feel like, in order for this offense to really shine, and to give this offensive line the time to develop, and really just with modern offenses in college football and the NFL today, you need your quarterback to be able to run a little bit. And I think Nussmeier can do that when it comes to his physical sense. But it's just about him, really kind of breaking through mentally and understanding that he needs to sort of, I don't say get over this fear, but definitely realize how important it is, and sort of lean into that instinctive running.
Koki, you are a journalist in every sense of the word. Looking at that space you've set up as a writer's asylum, I know the pain as a former journalist when I actually used to put the pen to the pad. That looks like a corner of the world I don't want to live in anymore, but I appreciate you still doing it, sir. One of the best. But when you talk about pressure and you talk about the advancement of Garrett Nussmeier versus, I'm looking at, if you have gun to your head, who has more pressure on them, Brian Kelly or Joe Sloan? And we talk about development and actually who actually can be on the chopping block. It feels like Joe Sloan has a lot of maturation to do in terms of what he's expected and what this offense is capable of doing.
Yeah, just in terms of who has more pressure heading into them, I think Kelly's always going to be the one who has more pressure just because he's the coach and he's the one getting the big contract, right? But I also think that, like, those are kind of two different. I'm going to give you kind of two different answers for those two very similar questions. No. Because, like, Joe Sloan's also the one whose, I guess, quote unquote, job is in more jeopardy, right? Just because I think there were a lot of people last season sort of calling for his head, which I think was kind of wrong. And I feel like if they don't get the offense on track and if they don't get the offensive line, you know, to a place that's at least solid, that could spell trouble for this offense, and that could spell trouble for Joe Sloan, and especially if they don't get the running game to a level that, you know, people are comfortable with this season, and they struggle in part because of that running game. That could be real danger, right? Because I think people were very upset about, you know, the state of the running game last season, and when you have your leading rusher returning from last season and you don't get that running game up to snuff, like that could be pretty dangerous for Joe in particular. And if you don't get the results this season, people are going to call for somebody's head. And I feel like Joe or, you know, Brad Davis on the offensive line, given the offensive line struggles that they had in the running game last year, like those would probably be the two sources of, you know, let's try to find a new answer there, right? But I think overall, like, I head into this season, and I just feel like if they can figure out the offensive line, this team can win the national championship. If they have trouble figuring out that part of the offense and that part of the team, then they're going to have a lot of trouble winning the national championship. It's kind of that simple, because I feel like at every other spot, you might even have some question marks, but there's a lot of depth at least. And there's some options that you can play with, even at a place like safety, where you have some returning pieces, but you bring in two transfers that can settle down the room if the returning pieces don't necessarily develop to the level that you want to develop, right? So I just feel like this is a very complete roster. I'm fortunate enough to be able to vote on the AP poll this year, and I just feel like there aren't 5 more rosters in the country that's better than this one. I don't think it's quite the best one, but it's hard pressed to find too many better teams, at least on paper, heading into the season than this one.
Cookie, put them one.
But that's what I'll say when you're talking about the, you know, as an AP voter, and you say there's not 5 better teams. I think one of the teams that will be considered a better team and or better roster than LSU's going into the season is the team that they're playing week 1, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I think Clemson has the best defensive line in the country. They have probably one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the country heading into the season. They have tons of returning pieces at wide receiver in particular. Running back's really the only question mark that they have, which is kind of funny because Clemson seems like they never have a question mark at running back. But yeah, I think that overall, like, Clemson is probably the better team heading into this game, which is weird to say given my general criticisms of the way they've sort of, you know, tried to build that program over the last 2 years. But given how many returning pieces that they have and how good a lot of those players are, they're a very, very scary team heading for LSU and for anyone, to be quite honest, because they are at least one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the country. I don't think there's really much of a question for that when it comes to that. But yeah, like, it's going to be a massive challenge for LSU. They can win this game, but they're going to have their A game going on the road, facing an extremely talented Clemson team. And it's just a tough draw and a tough year because, like, if they played last year's Clemson team or the Clemson team we saw 2 years ago heading into this year's game, then I think LSU would have a really good shot of winning the game, even if they were on the road. And I think it was going to be a challenge no matter what year this was going to be. But like for this year to be the year you face this sort of roster, it's tough. It's just really, really tough. So it's going to be a really fascinating game.
Of the expectations that come from especially these two teams specifically is experience. These are two teams that are very experienced, especially at the quarterback position, the wide receiver positions. But defensively, LSU's experience kind of came from the transfer portal. They added guys like Mansour Elaine, who's played a good bit of football, A.J. Halsey, Tamarcus Cool, like guys that have played a lot of football to come in and kind of boost and bolster that side of the ball. Who were some of the guys defensively, the new faces that LSU's added in the transfer portal, both the newer guys that had their first practice yesterday, Bernard Gooden and A.J. Halsey, but also some of those other transfer portals? Who were the new faces that stood out to you yesterday?
Yeah. Just in terms of yesterday, I think Bernard Gooden was pretty impressive on the defensive line. The defensive line was pretty dominant, especially against the second and when it came to when the twos were facing each other yesterday. So I think Gooden was sort of an interesting observation, mostly because like defensive line and defensive line depth is another, I guess, nit you could pick at with this roster. I wouldn't even say it's a need personally, because I just think they have like numbers there. It kind of depends on your thoughts on what Jacoby and Guillory is going to look like coming off of his torn Achilles and what how a guy like Shone Washington might develop. But I'm pretty optimistic on Dominic McKinley, who obviously was a 5-star recruit, one of the top recruits in the nation. Last season, he didn't play a whole ton, but he still was able to get 3 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. And then Brian Kelly yesterday says the guy can max squat 650 pounds, and they don't have enough weights in the weight room for him to lift on his max squat, which is pretty ridiculous. So it kind of tells you just the talent and the pure strength that kid has. And I feel like if he can take another step forward in his just general technical development this season, and Kyle Williams can really help him out, I'm pretty optimistic and bullish that he can kind of give the juice that interior defensive line could use, at least from like a pass rushing and tackle for loss sense, right? And getting Guillory back is very helpful in terms of just adding more depth to that room. You bring in a guy like Gooden out of the portal. You already have Sadir Mitchell. All of a sudden, this defensive tackle group has sort of developed. You have Ahmad Bro, who is really, really solid for you last season. He changed his number 16, which is odd to look at because he was already a smaller guy. Now he looks even smaller because of the number, right? Because certain guys look a certain way with certain numbers. So, that defensive line room is really, really interesting, really, really intriguing. There weren't a ton of other standouts outside of that defensively, just if we're just talking about yesterday. But I mean, it's nice to see Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins running around out there. There weren't a ton of plays for the secondary to make because either it was throws that didn't totally work out for the quarterback, or it was fantastic plays from the receiver. But I don't think it was a bad day for the secondary either, because they were there on pretty much every single play. A lot of contested balls that either the receiver made a fantastic catch on. Destin Hill made like 2 or 3 really, really strong contested catches yesterday. Teron Francis, the freshman, made another really, really good catch on a Colin Hurley throw. And the secondary, the guys are right there. So I thought it was actually a decent day for the secondary, even if we didn't see a ton of plays from them necessarily.
You've been covering Brian Kelly since his tenure started at LSU. Is there a markedly changed demeanor from what you've seen in year 1 to maybe now year 4? Like, you've seen the progress, I guess you could say, and now with this emphasis on game 1 of his 4th year, you heard you judge me in year 3, and then you have the, taking receipts, we're going to win a national championship. Have you seen a marked change in his approach to year 4 under his reign at LSU?
I guess I guess the change this season, right, is that they're really concentrating on actually winning that first game and going 1-0. That seems like a real, like, if you walk around the building, like the rumors are true. Like, there are, like, almost every TV screen that says 1-0 and with an LSU Tiger in the background. Like, you're at the indoor practice facility and there's a giant screen that says 1-0. You walk through the weight room to go outside. Every single screen in the weight room says 1-0. So, like, I guess, like sort of focusing their goals in a way, that's something that's definitely been a change since the first day. But I think Kelly, in terms of his just mentality and the way he's approaching things, is very similar to, day one. He's a 60-something-year-old guy from Massachusetts who likes to crack jokes constantly. He seems a lot more comfortable than he did when he first arrived here, for sure, and I think that comfort has only grown with time. But I also think he's the same guy that he was when he first arrived too, and there's a consistency that he brings from a day-to-day basis that I feel like it took time for the program and everyone else to get used to that, because it's a very different philosophy, day-to-day philosophy, than what Ed Orgeron has. But I feel like now that we're in year 4, and you can feel this a little bit in year 3 as well, I think everyone's sort of comfortable with the way that he approaches things a lot more from a day-to-day basis, who he is and how that sort of interacts with a program that's not really used to a guy, a very process-oriented guy the way that just a very process-oriented guy who he is. So, I think this offseason, in terms of like maximizing their capabilities and getting back to that national championship level, it was about what they did in the offseason in terms of adding talent, and also what they did in the offseason in terms of, squaring their focus to winning that first game and using that as a springboard to then go 2-0, to then go 3-0, to then go 4-0. Because yes, there's a lot of talk about this first game and a lot of hype about this first game, and there may be the worry that they're concentrating too much on this first game and not concentrating on the other ones as well. But it's still concentrating about going 1-0. It still shortens your focus in terms of just trying to get that next one right, that game at a time sort of, I guess, quote unquote mentality that you see a lot in baseball. You can apply it to football as well, and you hear it a lot in the NFL. You don't hear it as much in college football, but you hear it a lot in the NFL, where it's about, winning the one that's in front of you, and maybe adopting that can sort of help this team just be a little bit more process oriented, because you just didn't really hear that much the last few years when it came to just, let's go 1-0, let's go, then after that we'll try to go 2-0, then after that we'll try to go 3-0. And given the hype and given how important this game is in terms of from in the history of the lack of success that this program has had with these first games, it is warranted, just the amount of attention that they're putting to it right now.
Koki, if Jay Johnson coached the football team, how many games do they win?
If Jay Johnson was a football coach, this team would have a lot of success, because Jay Johnson's a very successful coach, and if he knew the ins and outs of football the same way Brian Kelly did, they'd win a lot of games. If he was just the baseball coach and you just like flipped him with Brian Kelly right now,
I'd be fired.
He probably wouldn't be as successful. But like, just in terms of his process and his success, and if you just say, "Oh, Jay Johnson is a football coach," they'd be extremely successful. Like, there's no question about it. The processes would work, I think.
Who would have more wins, Jay Johnson, Kim Mulkey, or Brian Kelly as the football coach? Or take Brian Kelly out of it. You can keep him in. I don't care.
If we're keeping Brian Kelly, I'd say Brian Kelly. If we're just picking between Kim Mulkey and Jay Johnson, I'd say Jay Johnson.
Yes!
There you go. And I'll ask
1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher in high school. People don't know that.
What I'll ask you is, on the baseball front, we'd be remiss to not talk to Koki Riley about baseball. As much as you've given the football insight, it would be stupid of us to not get some baseball knowledge from you while you're here. Just give me your takeaways from the offseason, obviously the draft, and some of the big splash moves that were made right after the draft, the return of Stanfield and other guys. What's your takeaway from LSU baseball after the national championship?
Yeah, they got hit really hard by the draft, harder than they've ever been hit since Jay Johnson took over this program. You lose 8 guys, and all of them signed, at least from what I can tell. And like River Hamilton, who got picked in the 11th round by the Tigers, he was the one right-handed pitcher who I felt like, okay, maybe he could actually come to school because it was late enough in the draft, and do the Tigers have enough bonus money to actually get this through the finish line? And they did. I think because of what happened in the draft and what happened to their freshman class, I think it really informed the way they behaved in the hours after the draft, the 48 hours or so after the draft, when they went out and got Trent Carraway, when they went out and got Zach York, where they went out and got Connor Moore. And I think their infield is now set for next season. I'm interested to see who plays where, because Carraway, I think, is going to be the third baseman because that's all he's really played. And that's where I think he wants to play. And I think it just sort of makes sense for him to be the third baseman next season. He's got power. He can play the position, obviously. He's been a top 150 draft prospect, not once, but twice. I look at the infield and really the whole position group for next season, and they're going to have to find answers at every spot except for catcher after this year, because it's a lot of 4th, 5th, and 6th year seniors, and it's a lot of guys who are going to be draft eligible and almost certainly going to be drafted after this year. So that's going to be interesting to watch, right? But I think their pitching was already in a really good spot heading into the draft, and now it's in an even better spot when you add a guy like Connor Moore to add at least pitching depth, if not a third starting pitcher, to go along with a guy like Zach Cowan and Casey Evans. The roster's in a really good spot for next year. I don't think there's really much of a question about that. Maybe they don't have quite as much. Maybe they don't have like the Jared Jones lock it in 20 home run power guy right now. And if you wanted to pick a nit, that'd be one of them. But they still added enough power with Carraway, with some potential at the plate, with Zach York. They have some lefty-righty versatility. They might not. I don't think they have quite as much bench depth as they had last year, when you had a guy like Ashton Larson, who kind of became the odd man out, even when you had a platoon between Josh Pearson and Ethan Fry and Jake Brown. You might have a platoon at DH between York and Pearson this year, but I don't see. There's not a ton of depth off the bench. Tanner Reeves might be the only other guy. The really only other super notable bench depth for this team. So they definitely have. There's definitely opportunity for a freshman or for someone to sort of jump into a key bench role for them. But again, these are real nitpicks right now, because their roster is really good, and it's really old too. They got a really old team next year. For example,
Dardar.
Simpson's a senior. Zach York's a senior. They have 5th and 6th and even a 7th, potentially a 7th year guy next season. So it's a very interesting team, to say the least. So I'm really curious to see how they sort of all come together, of course.
Well, we appreciate all of your insight, Koki. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll talk again soon.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yep,
Dude,
of course.
Appreciate it. Text Christian just to make him feel better.
I will.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks.
There he is, Koki Riley of The Advocate, joining us. Great insight, football-wise, flexing the football brain, because obviously Koki has shown off his ability to break down baseball knowledge, as you just saw right there with that last answer.
God, I forgot to ask him about the cramp.
I forgot about that. Obviously, the baseball knowledge, you flex the football brain a little bit there, and we'll see him at practice today because that's where we're going to head after this.
Hydrate, Koki.
Let's connect athletically. Let's do a little daily dozen, and then we'll get up out of here. We'll go get some LSU football practice content for you guys and get it put out later today. So make sure you like, subscribe, and you ring that bell because when you ring the bell, it'll let you know every time we do a little surprise something because Saturday we should be live after practice. There should be some video coming out today after practice. We are at 9,944 subscribers right now. That would be 56 away from
Lord
10K.
Taylor.
So 56 likes, and we're at 10K before football season. So we got 30 days, 56 subscribers. Make it happen. Let's see what we got. Oh, my gosh. I was wondering what Hunter was talking about.
Ugh.
And that's what the disgusting logo is, and it's Jalen Hurts.
I fucking hate it.
It's Jalen Hurts, I think. And he was the Super Bowl MVP, was he not? Jalen Hurts, and then it's going to be Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos. That's all the AFC West. Yep. And then you've got stripes. Yep. Come on now. You've got racket, elbow, shoes, court.
God, we should have
Tennis.
timed this one.
God, that was good stuff. There we go. Hey, that's a sign for a good day today. I tell you what, that's what that is. It's gonna be a great day.
Once you got Koki in your life, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, that's really true. And I wish you guys, I'm glad. I hope you guys don't think I'm joking about Christian and Koki. Like, he legitimately was like, yes, I'll text him. Yes, right. Yeah, no, I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna get him on. And he went and DM'd him on Twitter, and then got Koki's phone
Better
number.
that than cutting clips.
Yeah, I mean, we got Christian's talent. I guess it's to get guests on because it's not cutting clips. That's for sure. Love you, Christian.
What a piece of
Artman
shit.
Hall, we're not bashing Christian. We do love him. We do. I trust.
He got the go. He
Trust
got the
us.
gas. He got Koki. So
Shout out.
out Christian.
Shout out. He needs to come back to work, though. I texted him yesterday, be like, all right, it's
time to come back.
I was like, it's time to be back in town because fall camp has begun. He said, oh, I told him I was working this week. I was like, well, you better be back next week.
But he also said, I mean, I can leave whenever I want.
Yeah, that's what he told me, and now he says he can't. So if he's not here on Monday,
Fire.
we're going to have some issues on our hands. And I guess him and Kinfolk are going to have to box over this chair. Over the seat to my
I
right.
think you would see some rage out of Jonathan that probably is
Probably.
deep-seated.
Let's mash
Say-
up a
or
celebrity.
you put him in the pine straw.
Pine straw. So celebrity mashup. Oh, wow.
That is.
Is that Seth Meyers?
It is.
And then the guy from Ocean's 11, 12, 13. He's the guy that was wearing the glasses. He's the old man. I don't know his name, though. But it's definitely Seth Meyers in the rear, right?
This
Maybe not. I don't know. What's his name? I know the guy in the front. I know stuff he's in. I don't know his name.
It's definitely Seth Meyers.
This is the guy from Ocean's 11. He's in the Ocean's movies.
So Seth Meyers' body then.
Yes, yeah. But the face is the guy from Ocean's 11. I don't know his name. I wish I knew his name. Where's Brian Burgess? Brian. Somebody help me out with his name.
Seth Gordon.
E-Y-E. Looks like Chris Fowler's long-lost twin.
It does look like Chris Fowler. It does, kind of. It's a suit, too, to start me off.
Yeah. I know the man. I just don't know his name. I guess that's a struggle for me because I've done this multiple times where I've known the person, just not their name. I know things he's in. I don't know his name. He's in Ocean's 11, I'm telling you. Are you looking it up?
No.
Okay, good.
I am. I can play both at the same time. Over here. So I'm looking.
Play both what?
I can play it on this screen and this
Oh,
screen.
we'll do another one on this screen.
Okay.
We'll come back to this. See if somebody can
I thought it
recognize
was- I
that
thought it-
face.
See, you're right, because my initial guess was Eugene Levy, but that's not
That's
him.
not who it is.
But it also, they do look kind of alike.
They resemble.
I just don't know the guy's name either. NFL.
I think it's Levy, right? Is it Levy or Levy? I don't know. Sean Swisham was a kicker for this AFC North team from 2010 to 2014. The AFC North are the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals. He was not the Ravens kicker.
No, that's the
because
guy
that's Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker.
Toucher. You did that, you pervert.
It was on purpose.
Justin touched me.
Just in case.
A little higher.
Maybe the Browns, the Steelers. The only Steelers kicker I can remember is Boswell.
And he's been there forever.
The Browns have had multiple kickers, and the Bengals have had multiple kickers.
I feel like I can see him.
I don't know. P-Dub said I've only heard of him on the Steelers, so send it. Go Steelers. Boswell, I feel like is probably after 2014.
Yeah, that makes sense. Boswell's been there forever.
There we go.
That a boy.
P-Dub.
Oh.
2002 West All-Star point guard based on his teammate Kelvin
Cato, Eddie Griffin, what a fucking terrible team.
So 2002 was the year before the draft.
LeBron.
No, it's 2 years before LeBron. So 2002 West All-Star point guards. Maybe
Stephon Marbury.
Mike Bibby. He was East. West would be like the Lakers.
Kings.
Wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm thinking Kings.
I don't know. It's rough to go 0 for 3 on team like that.
On players, yeah. I don't know any of these guys.
I don't know any of these people. Eddie Griffin's an actor. West. Supersonics.
All-Star point guard from 02. God, what a year. That was the year I was born. How am I supposed to know this?
Don't do that. Hey.
I do that just to piss you off.
It's like, how do I know when the Declaration of Independence was? I wasn't alive. Read a fucking book. Muhammad's the most frequently used name in the world.
I don't know. Skip this one. Come back to it. I don't know the name of this person.
Oh.
I don't even know what teams are in the Eastern Conference of the NHL. Well, let's do non-sports stuff. Let's go do the fun stuff.
It's supposed to be the fun stuff.
Chain restaurants.
Celebrity mashup.
I know his name. I don't know his name. I know his face, though. The smallest land area of the 5 states that border Ohio.
Not George Clooney.
It's not George Clooney.
Oh, Kramer from Seinfeld.
It's not who it is, but that's a good guess. Maybe it is.
What's his name? We just said it yesterday.
Elliot Gould? Is that who it is, or is it Kramer? God, now it kind of looks like Kramer.
It does a lot.
Oh, gosh. Is it Kramer? I think it is Kramer now.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Where's fucking Jonathan?
God, it looks like now all I see.
That's
is Kramer,
all I
but I
see.
didn't see Kramer at first. Okay, so Elliot Gould is the guy that I was talking about. Shout out to Charlie Oliver. But now all I see is Kramer from Seinfeld.
I see him too.
God. Alex Futch says West Virginia for the other one, I guess. We can't take too long because I need to leave.
What do you have to do?
Go to football practice.
Oh. Keith, Michael, Richards. Michael Richards.
Art McDowell. Lloyd doesn't like Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I know. You fucking prove it.
All right, let's go to music. Stop. Get off of this one. Do something else. Is that Kramer's name?
Mm-hmm. Whoa, God. What's this guy's name?
Seth Meyers. God, I really thought it was Elliot Gould.
It could still be.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. That looks the Kramer flipped it.
It really flipped it.
It's the eyebrows.
Because type in Elliot Gould. Look at his face, and you'll understand why I thought that's who it was. But it was definitely Kramer. Brian Burgess, there you are. Thank you. Finally.
Yeah, they look a lot alike.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was. Like, that's all I could see at first. All right, let's go
damn,
next.
that's impressive.
No, not geography. Chain restaurants.
Yeah, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia. There we go. Chain restaurants. Each word.
Based on the first letter, we're showing you abbreviation. So again, we should know this.
The letter, it's throwing me off.
I'm
loving it. No. It feels like KFC, P-Dub says. What's KFC's slogan?
I'm yumming it.
I'm gumming it.
Oh. That'd make a pappy happy.
It's finger looking good.
It's finger looking. That'd make a pappy happy too.
I know that. I could not think of it's finger looking good.
Jane Fonda.
Isn't it the one? Isn't it the two old ladies? There's a show. It's like Grace and something. Grace and Frankie.
God, I don't watch TV like that.
I never saw that. I just saw it on Netflix.
I don't even know who. I mean, it's Jane Fonda. She smokes weed.
A 1999 gothic fantasy horror film starring Johnny Depp.
The
I don't know this. So
something about a small window. Secret window.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Send it. You do music. I love when you get them wrong. You get so upset.
Because you get a glimpse into how competitive I actually am.
Tragedy, why are you my remedy? Are you my remedy? It's
I've never heard this song.
Is it Closer? Dang it. Mike Bibby. Let's get us out of here. God, that was a pitiful performance. I'm trying to think of the Zed songs. Clarity, not Closer, Clarity.
Look at this photograph.
There it is.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
All right, we are about to head over to LSU football facilities. LSU football ops go to practice today. We will see you guys probably 7 to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Tune back in. We'll see you then. Make sure you subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather, everybody. Take a stranger's phone. Subscribe for us. 10K before football season. 30 days.
10K for BK. I'm loving it.
See you tomorrow morning.
Show's finger looking good.
Ew.